Hello, drama lovers. Welcome back to the K-pop World Channel. That night, the hospital looked like any other. Quiet, cold, and seemingly sterile of all emotion. But no one knew that behind one of those doors, something was happening. Something that would change everything. Not only for the two people inside, but also for the millions of hearts silently watching them from afar. There were no media cameras, no crowd of fans, just silence. But as people often say, the most honest truths often appear when no one is paying attention. And when a hospital's CCTV footage suddenly leaked to the public, lasting less than a minute, the world seemed to freeze. Wang Yibo, Xiao Zhan, and one embrace that made time stand still. In that video, a man in a black hoodie is seen standing alone in front of an operating room, his shoulders rising and falling as if he's trying to steady his breathing again and again. He grips his phone tightly, but never looks at the screen, as if the only thing he can do is wait. Moments later, the door opens slowly. A rolling hospital bed emerges, and lying on it, someone appears pale with an IV in his arm. His eyes are closed. That person is Wang Yibo. The man in the black hoodie, who had been bowed in silence, suddenly moves. His steps quicken, his breath catches, and when he reaches the side of the bed, he doesn't hesitate for even a second. He bends down, then wraps his arms around the fragile body of his friend in an embrace that was more than just an embrace. It was a hug filled with fear, with grief, and maybe the pain of almost losing someone. One of the first viewers of the leaked video said, "I couldn't hear a sound, but somehow my chest felt heavy, as if I could hear his sobs, even in the silence." That's the power of a moment that wasn't staged. And that was the beginning of the longest night, one that would never be forgotten by anyone who saw that footage. Just hours before that moment was captured, shocking news broke from Beijing. Local media reported that actor and idol Wang Yibo had been rushed to the hospital due to worsening digestive issues. No further details were shared, only that he was undergoing an emergency procedure and could not be visited. The news spread like wildfire. Fans flooded social media with prayers and messages of hope. But what intensified the situation was the unconfirmed report that Xiao Zhan, who had been filming out of town, suddenly canceled all his schedules and returned to Beijing without telling anyone. It wasn't long before a few unofficial sources confirmed he had entered the same hospital. And that's when the speculation began. Why did he come? What is really going on? Why did Xiao Zhan look so shaken? But the public didn't get any answers until the CCTV footage was leaked. And in that instant, the world stopped talking, because all the questions had been answered by silence. No one knows exactly how the video made its way online. Was it deliberately leaked by a hospital staff member? Or maybe someone who felt the world needed to see the truth? But once the footage surfaced, nobody discussed privacy violations. Nobody pointed fingers. Everyone just stared at their screens at that one moment and let their tears fall. Comments flooded every post that shared the footage. I didn't know they were that close. I thought they were just former partners. But this is deeper than that. That hug looked like someone who almost lost everything. Some fans even began comparing the footage to moments from the past, when they were still active together on shows, laughing backstage, or silently looking at each other when the cameras weren't watching. All those memories returned. And for the first time in a very long time, people started to believe that their bond had never truly disappeared. According to internal sources, Wang Yibo had been struggling with health issues for weeks. He kept working under intense pressure with little rest. His body was exhausted, and his mind wasn't far behind. But due to a packed schedule, he kept postponing any checkups. Until finally, on that night, he was rushed to the hospital in a state that left everyone around him in panic. Xiao Zhan was said to have received a direct call from Wang Yibo's manager. Within 2 hours of getting the news, he was already on his way to Beijing. No team, no bodyguards, just himself with one goal: to arrive before Yibo entered the operating room. He didn't make it, and maybe that's what broke him the most. So when the surgery was over and that hospital bed came out, his body couldn't hold back anything anymore. Every emotion, every fear, It all exploded in one hug. That moment needed no narration, and maybe it never needed any statement from them. Because not everything needs clarification. Not every feeling needs to be said out loud. Love, loyalty, the fear of losing someone often feel more real when left unspoken. And in that video, we all saw it. After the incident, the media could only speculate. Neither Xiao Zhan's nor Wang Yibo's agency released any statements. But online, fans are already moving. The hashtags Xiao Zhan Hugsaba, hashtag Yibo get well soon, and hashtag War with the Janiba trended globally within hours. Fan art, video edits, even cover songs started popping up as signs of support. Some fans created short animations that reimagined the hug, with added music that made the scene even more heartbreaking. And for many people, this wasn't just about two major idols. This was about two souls who saved each other, quietly, when the world thought they had drifted apart. As of today, Wang Yibo's condition is reportedly stable. He's still under close medical supervision and unable to resume activities. Xiao Zhan, for now, has not returned to filming. Some sources say he's still at the hospital, choosing to stay by his friend's side until he fully recovers. And maybe, behind those white hospital walls, there are two people quietly speaking. Not for the cameras, not for the fans, not for anyone else, but just for each other. Because between them, words are no longer necessary. Hello, drama lovers. After everything we've seen and heard today, there's something we can take away. The human connection, the truest kind, often shows up during our darkest hours. We don't know what will happen next. Will they perform together again? Will they remain silent and let time speak for them? Or perhaps this is the beginning of something no one ever expected? Whatever it may be, one thing is certain. That night was no ordinary night. It was the night when two hearts reunited, not as artists, not as public figures, but as two people who knew the pain of almost losing one another. And now, it's our turn to wait for updates on recovery, to wait for their next sign of presence, to wait for the next chapter, or maybe just hold this one close to our hearts. But while we wait, let's continue sending our prayers, because stories like this are too precious to be reduced to rumors. Leave your thoughts in the comments. What did you feel when you saw the video? And what do you think that hug meant to them? See you in the next update, only on K-Pop World.